it out. But I've still got the air in my lungs that I wanted, and I can keep breathing. And there's still a tiny bit left. So now I had to take another breath to fill my lungs up. But I don't want to be going. There's one guy who was fighting in the UFC last week, and they were talking about his breathing because nobody had ever seen that. He's breathing like that, which makes you go dizzy sometimes. But there's loads of people who know a lot more about breathing than I do. But what I tend to do when I grapple now, a lot, because I grapple a lot, is I tend to fill my lungs up. So I've got that breath. And then I don't breathe in and out. As I'm doing it, I just expel a little bit of air out. And I can keep going. And I fill them up again. So I'm not going. And you can try it with different exercises, doing what you're doing, but I try and keep my air in my body, and I don't get tired. I don't push people off with big. I have that one bit of in my lungs, and I make this noise a lot. And people say, what's that noise you're making while you're grappling? And I'm saying, I'm just letting a bit of air out. But I just. And when it's near the end, I'll fill my lungs up again. So my lungs are full now, and I can go half a minute, depending on, how much I let out. But then you've got to let a little bit out. And that's it. But find some breathing on grappling, and you can look at it and pick your way. Usually in the UFC, when the fighters get to the corners, the first thing that the coach will say is breathe. Because they like this, and then you go, breathe. All the time, since he was a kid in here. Breathe, it's the most important thing. He got out of breath in one fight that he lost once, a long time ago, and he didn't get out of breath, but he looked like he was terribly out of breath, and he had kidney stones. He had to go to the hospital for a couple of days. But he looked, and I've never seen him out of breath. That's because he knows how to breathe when you're fighting. And it's hard sometimes, and the atmosphere and the panic in the crowd, but essentially, you got some big balloons that you fill up with air, when you should keep your air in them. And fill it up again, so it goes, and then you just let him. And you're never pushing, so you're never getting tired. You're just blocking, and you're moving yourself. And if you can make all the right moves on the floor, If
those dirtbags think they can threaten my hometown, they got another thing coming.
Hello there, this is Tom Aspinall, and this is MMA Stand-Up Fundamentals.
I'm undisputed.
When you first start doing or going into an MMA class and you want to do something, you'll have probably one MMA teacher, or you'll have however many disciplines MMA is made up of, boxing, wrestling, jiu-jitsu, Thai and judo, whatever they are. Your teacher will have come from one of those backgrounds usually. And the way he tells you to stand and the way he tells you to move will probably be, if he's a judo guy, it might be judo based. If he's a Thai guy, it might be more Thai based with kicks. If he's a karate guy, he might be different with his stance. The important thing is that you adapt and find a stance that suits you. Every person that you see in the UFC will have a different way of fighting. They'll all stand different. There's no right or wrong way to stand and be. The thing is, you've not got to get hit. The most important thing For me, everything comes from a self-defense point of view. So the way Tom fights, it's a self-defense point of view. You're not in there to brawl. You're in there to win a fight the quickest and easiest and best way you can. You're not in there to stand there and trade punches with somebody and see how tough you are. It's not about that. So you need to get your stance right, that you don't get hit, you don't get kicked, you can move away, you can move in, you can move out and take as little punishment as you can get. Everything you've got to do when you fight, you've got to be in base. And you'll hear this term from jiu-jitsu guys, judo guys, and it's kind of standing so that your weight is balanced. You know, you can't stand with your feet in a line like this because you're moving off balance. You can't stand with your feet close together because you're presenting the wrong target to the person. You need to have some common ground where you're standing, you've got a good base, your hips can move, your feet can move.
On screen or in the ring, I make it look easy. Been a while since I've been home.
An eternal ring.
Security, get this chump out of here. Keep it loose, keep it punchy. Watch your stance next time. Here comes the fight! you like it. Feel my bite! Show some spine! Here comes the fight! Craft services got a table around here somewhere? I'm starving. Look at me! Hold it! I get my share of bad reviews. Their taste ain't my problem. Better start running! I'm not pulling punches. I don't just play a hero in the movies. Alley-oop! Wha-bam! That's with the serpent, you get the fang. Finish up here. Hit the gym. Watch them sweat. That's a wrap for you, buddy. This is spoiled for the strike.
is my town, and you ain't welcome here! Ha!